From ESPN, English football on the brink, Premier League weathering storm, but lower leagues are in trouble. Of course they're in trouble because you can't just stay shut down. We're staying shut down because we're trying to create an appearance that we're safe. And are we safe? No, we're never safe. When we wake up, it's unsafe. But we're creating this whole illusion. You got to wear your mask. You got to be social distance. You got to shut down this, or we're gonna come. Or you got to have the proper PPE, or you're gonna die. Little men, little people of the world that are trying to indoctrinate us in your fear tactics need to stop. I don't know about you, and give me your thoughts about this. Please leave a comment about what's going on in your sector of the world. In Arizona, nothing is being socially distanced. No one's wearing masks for safety. People are getting together. Nothing has changed. Nothing. The masses are out. Everything is open. We are congregating everywhere, but we shut down small business. We make up fake rules to make everyone feel safe. Coaches, soccer coaches have to wear them. They wear around their chin now. They don't wear it anymore. No high fives. They're giving high fives now. There's so many. I was at 60. Well, I was at a place, and at our it's just packed. There's no. We're not doing like our warm ups are like 7. No, we're all together. Nothing has changed. The skate park next to it was flipping packed. Nothing has changed. The only thing that is the same is we're just keeping small business, and we're trying to crash the economy. It's like we need to rise up and fight this. But there's so many people that are loud, it sounds like more than it is, that just want, we need to keep it this way. What are you talking about? We need choice. Choice. We can either go to soccer practice or you can stay home. That is it. We know what it is now. You gotta wash your hands. You shouldn't interact with people that cough and stuff. That's no different than in living life. I don't want to be around sick people. I'm out there. I'm not getting sick. I eat healthy, by the way. I do all the time. But I don't know how I got on this. I even started reading the article, but I'm going to read the article how we're just destroying the whole economy, and it's coming. We got to open up everything. No limitations. The limitations should only be controlled by you. You can stay home. You can order on Amazon and be a hermit. Go ahead. I'm going to read. Mark Ogden, senior writer at ESPN FC, says English football is teetering on the brink of an abyss. By Christmas, some of the game's oldest and best-run clubs could be out of business, driven to extinction by the devastation impact of the coronavirus pandemic. No. It should say devastating impact of the morons of the world that are mandating this, like governors and legislators and all those pricks that are making our lives miserable. They've done nothing. Nothing's been done. The only thing that's been done really well, like the governor of Michigan, who still mandates that people with COVID go into senior living assisted areas. That's effective. That's killing thousands. Like the New York Governor Cuomo pushing people into that have COVID into senior assisted living, killing thousands. That's effective. But everything else we're doing, stupid. I read hard. Alarm bells are beginning to sound, and down the footballing pyramid, all the way from tiny Accrington Stanley to the powerhouse of Manchester United. November and December is when it will all start to hit home. It's hitting home right now, all through the United States. This whole delayed thing, it's going to be nasty. And whoever's president, their economy is going to be destroyed in the United States. Mark Catlin, chief executive of the English Football League, EFL, League One, Portsmouth, told ESPN, clubs won't have cash coming in at that point. They will start to look at their debt mountain and have to make decisions about whether they can go again and continue. If you have no cash and are just accumulating debt every month, that's unstable for any business. Oh, you'll think, but you'll get a crazy liberal saying, well, it's about safety. Safety. Poverty kills millions. Stress from not having a job kills a lot of people and others that are around. It's ridiculous what we're doing. This is so freaking stupid. I read on. Portsmouth, a well-supported club with an average home attendance of 17,800 last season, have not reported a financial loss in 7 years, but playing without paying supporters is costing them $700,000 a month. On paper, the profit and loss is horrific, Caitlin said. It's running into millions. Yeah, it is. And the only ones not being affected by it are, in our states, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. Everywhere, everyone's congregating. I don't know about your stores, but our stores have arrows. You know, like, oh, we're going to put all these arrows down. You're going to go this way, and you're going to go that way, and everyone's going to be safe. No one's following the arrows. I'm not walking all the way around, going down the aisle when my item's right there. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And the cleaning bills. So I know one institution, they put over $1 million in cleaning into buildings that no one can go in until January. How ignorant is that? Freaking morons. I read on. When Liverpool hosted Atletico Madrid in the Champions League at Anfield on March 11th, nobody could have, this is a new word for me, emphasized? What the freak is that word? Don't worry, I looked it up. Oh, yeah. So Google search. There we are. Emphasage. So emphasage. You freaking English people. Verb, past tense. Emphasage, past participle, or emphasized. What? Contemplate or conceive of an possibility or desirable future event. Why don't you use one of those words? I'm not very good at reading. I got too many screens going on. But I'm going to read on. I'm going to try. And it says that more than 6 months later, the game would prove to be the last time any professional club in England would play in front of a stadium of fans. October 1st was supposed to be the day when clubs at all levels, from the Premier League giants down to the minnows in EFL League 2, were able to breathe a collective sigh of relief, unlocking their doors for supporters to return in managed numbers and start the slow climb back to financial stability. But plans for stadiums to reopen at 30% capacity in the professional game were shelved by the UK government last week, and together social distancing measures were introduced. Shut the freak up. In an effort to drive down an escalating COVID-19 infection rate amid fears of a second wave during autumn and winter. And the thing is, the second wave will come, and they'll call it whatever they want. You know how much misinformation we've received? Oh, they got COVID. Wait, it's a negative. It's a double negative. Wait, I'm positive. Now I'm not. A day later, I don't get it. Oh, wait, that was the flu. And we're hearing that if you get your flu shot, everyone's like, get your flu shot, get your flu shot. And we're hearing from Dr. Oz that if you get your flu shot, it's gonna increase your chances of getting the COVID. There's another YouTube knocking me off the platform. I gotta check my other source, like all the other locations I'm at, because my ever since I got a little political, my numbers have been just destroyed. You can't talk crazy like me and be allowed to have your analytics spread out like COVID for people to hear you. That's my dog. Anyways, reading on. The Premier League and EFL have both urged the government to reconsider. Of course, they're not going to do it. They're a bunch of freaking nut jobs. They just love control, and they like telling you what to do. And a lot of people like being told what to do. And those people that like big government and want to be told what to do to feel safe or whatever, you're a moron. And when the Civil War happens, you're first on my kill list. I have a kill list. Just kidding. God, just calm down, everybody. I'm just going nuts. I just want out. Oh, wait, I am out. I want out normal. Not the new normal, normal. Insisting it can be done safely, but also warnings of disastrous consequences for clubs unable to generate crucial income from fans paying to watch games. But unless the government performs a U-turn, stadiums are likely to remain shut until March, and some clubs quite simply will be out of business by then. Yep. And then the billionaires that have money, they're gonna buy those locations and hope that COVID doesn't come back or some other super disease. We are a very well-run club with a 113-year history of solvency. David Bottomley, CEO of League One, Rockdale, told ESPN, "We are solvent now. We don't have a bank overdraft, but even as well-run as we are, we won't be able to get past March without any form of money coming in." I spoke to a League Two club last week, and they were saying that following a ring round of clubs in that division, very few believe they would get past the end of November, like in a month. David Burgess, managing director of the League One, Accrington Stanley, puts it more bluntly: if rescue money doesn't come in, football will be on its ASS. Burgess told ESPN, "Club will be closing all over the place." That sounds about right. I understand the financial nightmare facing club in the EFL. You need to rewind to 1992 when the Premier League was formed following a breakaway by England's top clubs. There are 92 clubs in England's top 4 divisions, 20 in the Premier League, and 72 divided among 3 leagues in the EFL. The split could be described as the haves and the have-nots. Before 1992, and that is so true. So who's being affected by all these pricks in government that are mandating shutdowns and all this stuff? You freaking morons. Who's this affect? It affects those that have not. It affects the poor and the middle class. It doesn't affect the rich. You freaking idiots. Let us fend for ourselves. Freak. Before 1992, all 92 clubs played in Football League from Division 1 to Division 4 with the money from the Football League's television deal worth $44 million between 1988 and 1992. Distributed between all 4 divisions. 50% went to Division 1. The other 50% was shared between the bottom 3 divisions. The big clubs wanted a larger slice of the pie, so they formed the Premier League, and their first TV deal was worth $304 million over 4 years. The Football League was left to fend for itself without the commercial pull of the top clubs, and the years since have created an ever-widening gulf. Kind of like where we're going right now. I mean, everything's shut down except Walmart, McDonald's drive. Actually, they were shut down for a bit too. McDonald's, Target for whatever reason. Maybe Target was open a little bit. No, Target was open. Home Depot, Lowe's, QT, where you can get gas. So we all went there. When you have millions of people and we can't spread out, that's social distancing, spreading out when you have everything open. But when you only allow a few things open, the millions go to one place and boom. We aren't social distancing after all. Frickin' idiots. Government officials are morons. Do you not know that? They're idiots. They don't run it. They play with monopoly money. It's not their money. They constantly get taxes coming in. And they're effed right now too because they're having record low numbers of taxes coming in. They can't even pay their bills. Our bills. But they definitely spent a lot on cleaning, on stuff that didn't need to be cleaned, they're finding out. But they're brilliant. Freaking government officials. Some of the Premier League riches trickle down to the EFL in the form of twice-yearly solidarity payments passed along in August and January. In April, the Premier League sanctioned the advance of $125 million of solidarity money to the EFL and the National League. The league, a mixture of professionals and semi-professional clubs, is below the EFL. Those funds are the reason why clubs have been able to function. In League One, for example, clubs receive a total of $1.6 million from the EFL TV deal and Premier League solidarity payment. It dropped to $1.2 million in the League Two. After 6 months without fans, the money is running out. You think everything. And the thing is, when money is running out, it's affecting so many people, and who it's affecting the poor. We can't work. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I'm on this group chat on Bainbridge Island, and these guys are nuts. You're talking about liberal, crazy liberals, and I have a lot of friends that are liberal and Democrats, but crazy liberals, they reside on Bainbridge Island. This is a very, very expensive place to live. Very. And these very rich, very white, and there's like no black people on the island. And they're like, Black Lives Matter. What the freak? You're hiding. How about you move to a place where you can actually see black people. Not on Bainbridge Island. There's like one. And they're just like, they're so like, want everything shut down and don't have schools open. They've had, I think, 32 cases of COVID on the island since March, and they want it shut down. They are effing nuts. You heard it first. And you know who's the craziest one? Barry. This guy named Barry. He's a nut job, and he don't even debate with you. He just lights you up and just calls you like every freaking horrible thing in the world, and he's a nut job. But yeah, Bainbridge Island, it's a place I visit way too much. And the people there they're nuts. And I don't want to be there. I want to move like to North Dakota and get away from everybody. So, all right, I ripped on Bainbridge. Check. Moving on. Talks are ongoing between the government, Premier League, and EFL about more funds being released to help the struggling clubs in the lower leagues. A loan or grant of up to $200 million is the most likely outcome, but views are split on whether the Premier League will care enough to act. Care enough? Well, they have enough. Everyone's like losing money, especially universities and colleges. Everyone from JUCO to Powerhouse, UNC, you name it, they're all getting their butt kicked. Millions upon millions, anywhere from $400 million to, $20 million. It's impacting everyone, and it's coming. They've been keeping a secret for a while. Oh, we're fine. No, we're not. Sources told ESPN that there was a shareholder meeting of PL clubs on Tuesday where the issue of financial help for the EFL was discussed. Discussions remain ongoing with the EFL, but the PL view is that the government moved the goalposts last week by blocking fans returning. It's so frustrating. I know in the UK, they're all throwing a fit. Hundreds of thousands of people are packing the streets, throwing a fit about their government, and they're still doing it. Why? Because the minority, the little people that scream the loudest, they're like, no, we got to keep it shut down. Why? Why do you want everything to collapse? We need an economy, don't we? Oh, no, we got to worry about safety of grandpa and grandma. What the freak? We can protect everybody, but you can't shut it down. It's the stupidest thing you ever envision. We are stupid people, and the dumbest are the ones that are rah-rahing it. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. There's a collective, there is a collective on the Premier League's part to help the EFL, but talks are ongoing with no resolution as yet. I have been running football clubs for 30 years, former Leeds United chairman Peter Rydesdale, now the representative of Preston North End owner Trevor Hemmings, told ESPN. And I was around when the Premier League was formed because the top clubs felt that they weren't getting their rightful share of the limited TV monies at that time. That was changed out of all proportion now, and nobody could ever have there we get that freaking word again, envisaged that. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Reading on. When I was at Leeds, I never got the impression that the Premier League cared too much about the football pyramid, Rydesdale said. But what we have to remember and remind the clubs in the Premier League is that there have been 49 clubs out of the 92 who have been in the Premier League. So there are many clubs in the Premier League who will end up in the EFL at some point. What those clubs must do is remind themselves, no matter how big they are, is that they can't take for granted they will be there forever. That's true. For the vibrancy of the English football, we need a strong pyramid, and the Premier League can make that happen with more equitable distribution of the TV money. For Portsmouth CEO Caitlin, however, the onus should be on the government to come to football's rescue. Yeah, by opening up. The thing is, what government needs to do is make it easier for us to live and make decisions on our own. But they just want to strap everything around you. And I get this doesn't make sense for you people that don't want to start a business and don't aspire to actually make an impact in the world. You rather just work at a university and I'm just going to get tenure kind of mentality. You just want someone just paying you and you don't want to work for something. Yeah, I'm in that boat, trying to stay alive, trying to get not tenure, but just retirement. It's not a fun place. But if I was willing to take the risk, it takes guts. But the government comes in and just puts all these barriers that you can't function. Well, it's for our safety. It's always the same thing. It's always about our safety. Reading on. To me, it seems very difficult to go to those clubs as an outside entity and demand some of that money, especially when some owners are having to dip into their own pockets to the tune of many millions a month. They are losing significant sums in gate receipts, so they are also struggling. It's not the Premier League that are stopping fans entering stadiums. It's a government decision. Shocker. These freaking elected morons. Unelect them, please. And tar and feather in the streets would be amazing. It's not the Premier League that are stopping fans entering the stadiums. It's a government decision, just as it was with the theaters and the arts, and they got a $1.4 billion bailout. The UK's government sanctioned a $1.57 billion rescue package for the arts in July. Fire them all. Fire them. We're going to let football die, but not the arts. We just want the freedom to survive. That's all we want. That's it. At this moment in time, I don't know what the government is doing to bail out an industry that generates many billions of pounds for the UK, not to mention that the work they do for the communities. The onus is more on the government than the Premier League to bail out the football clubs. The Premier League is aware of the financial impact up and down the pyramid, sources tell ESPN, but they are also mindful of the collective losses of $700 million and counting last season without fans. While the EFL estimates its losses to be around $200 million this season, the Premier League is divided into unilaterally covering that, especially when money is going into the championship clubs to form of transfer fees with the likes of Nathan Ike, Bournemouth, joining Manchester City. So that's how they're surviving, is through those kind of trades. And it's getting ridiculous. This is going to be so destructive, and people are like, oh, we're fine. We're fine. Wait till we get Biden in. We're going to be fine. He doesn't tweet. You know, if he doesn't tweet, then, he has no plan. but at least he doesn't say bad things. I don't care if Donald Trump gets things done and we're not in a war or anything and the economy is amazing under him. We're going to depend on Biden to save us? Good job. Way to throw him out there. Freaking Democrats are crazy. Why couldn't you guys get Wang? Andrew Wang was the guy, and you put Biden. What? It's frustrating. That debate last night, I almost I lost brain cells watching that. I'm like, I cannot believe this is our top two. Freaking ridiculous. Rockdale AFC is a club that prides itself on balancing the books. Local rivalry Barry were kicked out of the EFL last season because of ongoing failure to pay the wages of players and staff as well as taxes, whereas Rockdale have been vigilant in keeping wages realistic and selling homegrown players to keep the club afloat. Last season, 17-year-old defender Luke Matheson contract was sold to Premier League Wolves for $1 million. He was loaned back to Rockdale, with Rockdale's insistence on sell-on fees for the players that leave also saw them bank $500,000 following the Craig Dodson's $5.5 million move from West Brom to Watford in July 2019. 9 years after selling his contract, both even Rockdale's prudence and sensible planning has been unable to shelter them from the pandemic, and there is anger within the Crown Oil Arena at the government's decision to halt the return of fans. Of course, we're just getting story after story of, we're screwed, and the UK is screwed, and it's a long, great article. I encourage you all to read it. And it's a lot of scary stuff. And it's going to be devastating. And it's coming. It's going to be the worst Christmas ever for the ones that face that. This article, this is a long article. As I'm scrolling to the last two paragraphs, which I like, the two quotes, because there's so much information on we're screwed unless the government says, okay, we're sorry, we're going to stay out of your way, and they won't. And there's a lot of people that like the government to be in your lives, you freaking idiots. Have I not covered that? How much I have a disdain for you morons that like the government control your lives? I have major disdain for you. Major. Last two paragraphs of this long, well-written article. We are at a real pinch point. I'm not trying to panic or create hysteria here, but I do think there will be a huge domino effect when one or two clubs go down. Others won't be able to fulfill their fixtures, and pretty soon, those who are left with wonder, what is the point of carrying on? But this isn't a them and us situation. This is just us, the industry of football, and we all have a responsibility to each other, because when you start to lose the base of a pyramid, the top end starts to crumble, and that's what will happen if we're not so careful. And what a just so well said, and it covers everything that's going on. Everything. The pyramid in the United States is the middle class. We're keeping everything afloat, and we're being destroyed. Destroyed, ladies and gentlemen. We're being destroyed because of the government. It's so bad and so pathetic what they're doing. They're destroying the middle class. And then we're going to be like Mexico. We're going to have rich and poor and no middle class. Good job, idiots. And it's coming fast. And so many people are going to be out of work, especially at the universities and colleges. It's coming, and it's going to just all the people I work with and all the people at universities. I'm like, there's a reckoning coming our way. And we're all like sitting home and we're safe. What do you mean we're safe? We're about to lose our livelihood. And then what? Go on the streets? Shoot. In Arizona, we talk about, we wear these shirts that say, don't California my Arizona. We're going to California the United States, if not the world. There's just going to be nothing but crap on the street. People living on the street, homelessness will just go through the roof. But we have to be safe. No, we just want a fighting chance. Can we fight for something? Are we able to fight to survive? No, we're not allowed. Speaking of fight to stay alive, I watched this show called Alone, and they just dropped these people off. You know, I watched the last season where they dropped off like freaking like Antarctica. It was just like impossible to live, and these people are out there for like 87 days surviving. It's crazy. We just want a fighting chance. Can we not have a fighting chance? I just want a fighting chance. I just want to live. Can I live? Oh, by the way, if you like this podcast, I get its average by music. Look, yeah, I get my podcast is average. I'm trying to be better, but you can try. If you somehow made it through this whole rant I went on with my limited ability to read and pronunciate, because for the ones I don't know, I'm missing my two front teeth. They pop out. I have to keep my tongue to push them up while I'm trying to pronunciate, and it's not easy, especially if I get too much saliva going or whatever, and my stupid teeth start chattering. I have to push it up with my tongue, and it's hard to say things. But this is my only freedom to talk to the people of the world, to feel like I'm serving a purpose. I can't go to work until January. Everything's remote. It's a lot of phone calls. Can't stand it. Oh, what I was getting at. Go to coachcameron.com. Go to my store. Buy a T-shirt. And I have a code. It's Coach Cam. If you put Coach Cam, you get 20% off any of my T-shirts or mugs or masks. I do have masks. All right, see you guys later.